this EDM radio show, and tonight we have with us the amazing producer, remixer, and DJ, Zen Freeman. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Nice, man. So you're having actually a gig here on DR, July 26th. Are you excited about it?
Yeah, I do. I'm very excited, actually. And I've been close, but I've never been to the Dominican Republic before, so first time. So stoked to be out there. And it's three shows, 26th, 27th, and 28th. So super excited about that.
Nice, we can't wait to have you here, man. So, speaking of gigs and stuff, you're known for being like the best DJ for high-profile events and consulting music supervisors for major clothing brands. Does that give you like any more pressure into your career, and how do you balance your time with that much stuff?
So the two are quite different, really. The music supervision stuff is a lot of high-end stuff, and I'm working on a job at the moment for Prada, and it's more just fine. It's like I kind of do that stuff more in the daytime in the studio, and it's more like source stuff and just finding really cool. It's a completely different genre of music. It's more eclectic, like new disco, down-tempo stuff. And then obviously, when I'm producing music, the stuff that I produce is a lot more upbeat. And then DJing kind of Hollywood parties, high-profile parties, the music can be a little bit more down-tempo, like kind of indie rock, pop. And then when I'm on tour, I play a lot more, a lot bigger room kind of music. So it's all different, really. But I love it. I love music. It's part of me, and
Yeah.
I like it because every day is different, really.
So getting more into production in that area, how did you get into electronic music, and who are your main influences?
Well, I started DJing when I was really young, and at the time. The clubs that I was exposed to and I was going to, the big headliners at the time were Paul Oakenfold and then more of a kind of underground scene that I was involved in, but with Sasha and Digweed. And then, funnily enough, like when I kind of moved to America, I met about 10 years ago. I met with Oakenfold, and he actually got me into the whole like touring big clubs. Yeah. And then he was a very kind of strong arm in my production, and I signed my first record deal with Oakenfold and Perfecto Records.
How's your production process? I mean, like, how do you have your daily schedule, let's say, on studio, and how do you come with those amazing ideas for your tracks?
Oh, thank you so much. Well, the studio really is, obviously the schedule. It's obviously studio time is kind of based around tour time. So, when I come back to LA, I kind of figure out, how long I've got back here, and then normally the projects that come in are normally, remix projects for other people, other artists, for the label, and then that's obviously, normally you get a deadline, a job, you get kind of sent the stems, X amount of days to do it. My own stuff, the original stuff, and I've been writing my album now for the last, probably going on for about a year now. And it's more, just that part is just more, like the way my creative brain works in the studio. I just kind of work on different ideas, and then I kind of shelve ideas, and I've got about a dozen tracks now that eventually I will get released, and the whole process, I write obviously the mechanicals on the track, but then coming up with ideas of doing the top line is just endless, and I'm working with this great vocalist from New York that we're bouncing back ideas. I'm working with a girl in London. I've been working with this amazing hypnotist guy who's doing kind of euphoric triggers for me, and he's recording stuff and all the time. So it's an endless journey, really.
So we also know you play football. If you have to choose between that or DJing, which would you pick?
I'm a better DJ than I am a football player.
Nice.
I love playing football, and for a long time there's a guy, my mate Robbie Williams, who obviously the pop, the British pop guy.
Yeah.
He bought a house in Hollywood, and he built a football pitch out the back. he kind of converted some tennis courts. So for about 7-8 years out here with, there's this whole like expat, a lot of British kind of, musicians and stuff. And we actually created like our own kind of football team out here. So it was really amazing. Really, really lucky,
Can you give us any little sneak peek into new tracks, remixes, maybe an EP or an album?
Yeah, I mean, I think that my next release is I took the most famous hypnotist in the world, and it wasn't an easy process, but this guy's done, he's kind of hypnotized all sorts of, professional boxers, golfers, loads of Puff Daddy, all sorts of people, celebrities to stop smoking. So we came up with this concept that he could hypnotize a whole festival by using these kind of, trance triggers. So it took a while, but I've finished 2 tracks with this guy now. His name's Paul McKenna, and they're currently being signed by a major label in London. So that I think that my next big release is going to be, it's going to be one of these tracks. At the moment, the CC Peniston track, All My Love, that I did with my buddy Richard Bynum as well. That's kind of getting a lot of love and getting a lot of play in Ibiza, and it just went out on another Ibiza compilation album. So there you go. I think the next actual big release of mine, it's going to be called, it's my original track, and the name of it is called The Hypnotist, featuring Paul McKenna.
Do you have, like, let's say, any dream collaboration?
Same again. People that I aspire to be like, and my mentors, and and I'm very lucky because at the moment, I'm so, Calvin Harris is such a talented guy, and his production is amazing. He's he's kind of the most well-rounded producers I've kind of ever, just to talk to him about music. And so at the moment, I'm on tour with Calvin Harris, but it's more of a performance-based kind of relationship. But the guy's amazing. Like he sings, he writes, he writes vocals. He's amazing. Writing melodies and kind of all-rounded production. I've never really, there's not that many people that can kind of do everything. So I guess my ultimate collaboration would be to do something with Calvin, I'm sure.
Nice. Which of your upcoming gigs are you most excited about?
I have a gig tomorrow with, I'm playing a show in Malibu tomorrow with Tiesto, who's kind of just one of, he's the ultimate, isn't he? He's one of the godfathers of house music. I get excited about all my shows. I think this one's probably, it's not as small, it's about 500 people on Malibu Beach, and it's July 4th out here. It's the big July 4th Malibu party, which is, they're actually doing it on the 3rd this year. And then, I think what an amazing electronic, what he's done. He kind of, people like Tiesto just made it easier for guys like me to come along, because, 7-8 years ago in Hollywood, it was difficult to get away with playing house music. There was a lot more of a hip-hop pop crowd. So I start back up doing tour gigs with him next month, but this month I've got gigs I'm playing in San Francisco, San Diego, at some really cool, really, really fun clubs here, young, I've got a couple of tour dates with Bob Sinclair, Rehab, and then on Thursday, Friday night, July 5th, I'm on tour. I start my tour in the Hamptons, and I'm playing a festival for AEG in this kind of surfer town called Montauk. So really, loads of really exciting stuff. I always love summer. Winter can be a bit more serious sometimes with these shows, and I do a lot more kind of like, a lot of award stuff in Hollywood and film festivals. Whereas summer, all the gigs are really fun and people let their hair down a little bit more.
So between gigs, which one would you prefer? A high-profile event, or would you prefer like a small club or a big arena? Which one would you pick?
I love. You just get a lot more of a buzz when you play the big rooms and all the amazing production now. My residency is at Hakkasan, and it's about 4,000 people. But the club sound dynamics, the kind of pyrotechnics that they fire off confetti and cryo, and the bigger the room, the better. I played a show a few months ago. I opened for the Chili Peppers in San Francisco, and it was the actual. It was 75,000 people at this show, and it's just, and that kind of energy that you can feed off is unbelievable. So, although I love doing small, high-profile shows, it's a lot more kind of, it can be a lot more intellectual, for for A-list actors and for movie producers and and stuff like and people for people in their 40s and 50s and doing stuff for Harvey Weinstein and having to kind of dive deep. And those gigs, I take a sound card and I take a lot more. I take actual hard drives of library music. And it can be quite an intellectual thing, whereas, when you play these big electronic shows, you kind of go in, the day before, you almost have a sense of exactly what you're going to play. You take your music on I just use record box on a thumb drive. So I'm only if I play a show in Vegas for 4,000 people, I've probably only got, a gig of music on me on a stick. So they're different, so one's more of one's more of a laid back, it's a lot more, I'll play a 4-hour set at a film festival party and kind of take the people on a journey and dive deep and go into those kind of realms of, actually, a journey in music, whereas playing a show to, 80,000 people, you can't beat that element of energy and, it's actually an easier thing to do, but it's kind of it's quite rewarding when you walk off. Wow. It's also good, like jumping up and down and walking off stage sweating. It's brilliant.
That's nice, man. Thanks a lot, man, for your time. It's been a pleasure, and hope we can have you back here. Now we got a guest mix, so can you present yourself?
Love it. Okay, brilliant. Yeah, well, I can't. Thanks for lovely chatting to you, and I can't wait to get out there. So, brilliant. Love it.
1, 2, 3, go.
Estás escuchando EDM Radio Show.